This video is all about what we're going to call stupid human trick number 5. In other words, it's one of the common things a lot of us do where we think we're being so smart, so clever, but it's actually a really dumb thing. It could be keeping you poor, keeping you in pain, generally causing you to suffer, and maybe even ruining your life. Hi, my name is Brent Phillips. I am the founder and creator of the awakening dynamic system of energy healing and higher consciousness. And today we're going to talk about stupid human trick number 5. This is the 5th video in an 8-video series. But just in case you haven't seen the others, let me just say, I'm not calling people stupid. I'm calling the trick stupid. There are lots of incredibly intelligent, awesome people who do dumb things. I want to call it out so you don't have to make a lot of the same mistakes I have, so that you can start to create your life more powerfully. It's really that simple. So let's get into it. What is stupid human trick number 5? It's this: focusing way too much time and effort on what we'll call intermediate steps. So let's get into it. What exactly is this stupid human trick number 5? It's this: focusing way too much on intermediate steps instead of really going for the exact thing we really want. And again, it's insidious, it's subtle. A lot of us think we're being so smart and so clever, but we're actually just screwing the pooch from the outset. So that was a little abstract. Let me give you a great concrete example to make this crystal clear. And so here's something that really happened almost 20 years ago now. One of the very first weekend seminars I ever taught. I had a woman attend my seminar, and we covered a section on manifesting. And I told the class, hey, pick something you really want to create in your life. And I'm going to guide you through a process on calling it in, sending a powerful signal out to the universe to bring this thing into your life. And I remember I gave everyone time to think about it during a break, and she came to talk to me. And she said, Brent, let me tell you, it's always been my dream to live in a beach house in Malibu. And I was like, awesome. That's a great thing to manifest, right? And she goes, no, you don't get it. I'm pretty much broke. I had to borrow money to come here. I'm living on my friend's sofa. I had to borrow her car. I barely have 2 nickels to rub together. And she said, last I checked, beach houses in Malibu start around $5 million. Now, just a little aside, this was a long time ago. It's 2023 as I make this video. I'm guessing beach houses in Malibu cost a lot more than that. But back then, this was around maybe 2004. That was the price of admission. And so she said, what do I do? And so I said, okay, let me ask you this. What do you think you want to manifest? And she goes, $5 million, of course. And I was like, no, wrong answer. She's like, what? And I said, no. Manifest living in a beach house in Malibu. And it was amazing because I could see the light bulb go on. Ba-ding, right? Her eyes got big and she's like, oh, okay. And so we did the process. I walked her through the theta wave manifestation and finished teaching the weekend, and I kind of forgot about it, right? I had a lot of people ask me a lot of questions. But what I remember is it was about 3 weeks later, I got a voicemail. And she said, hey, Brent, guess what? I manifested living in a beach house in Malibu, and the craziest thing happened. A few weeks after your class, she had done a lot of subconscious clearing, and I'll circle back to that in a bit because that is an important detail. But she had done a lot of subconscious clearing, and she says, yeah, I just finished speaking to someone who was like her ex-roommate's cousin's neighbor or something, right? One of those things. And their family was going on a 6-month around-the-world cruise, but they had dogs, and they were looking for someone to live in their beach house in Malibu to take care of the house, and more importantly, to walk the dogs and feed them and take care of them. And she was like, oh my gosh, I'm not only going to live in a beach house in Malibu, someone's going to pay me to do so. Awesome, right? And I shared that story because that's the point I'm trying to make. If what you really want is to live in a beach house in Malibu. Don't manifest the money. Manifest what you want directly. That's what I meant when I said earlier, stop messing around focusing on the intermediate steps. Just aim at directly what it is you want. And so in this case, what she really wanted again was simple. She wanted to live in a beach house in Malibu. But the intermediate step was the money. And it's understandable. Lots of people manifest money. And honestly, it's kind of a mistake. Maybe mistake is too strong of a word, but it's usually not the best choice. So do you see how a lot of the time the mind tricks us? Because if there's only one way we understand something, then we're going to try to force the intermediate steps. And so that's why I say, if you want to live in a beach house in Malibu and it's going to cost $5 million, forget about the money. Go after what you want directly. And so I think you'll find that in life, many of the things that we really want are a lot closer to us than we realize. We just have to be willing to let go of our obsessive focus on those intermediate steps. There's another law of attraction teacher. I read some of his books years ago. I wish I remembered his name. If you guys know it, put it in the comments. I'll give him a shout out. He talked about what are called the accursed hows. And this is a very common mistake with law of attraction, mind power, manifesting, whatever you want to call that. We get so hung up on figuring out how something has to happen, we totally miss what. And so this is not just manifesting. This is not just money. This is everything in our lives. It also works this way if you do energy healing. One of the big mistakes people make with energy healing is they get too much into what you might call psychic surgery. So, for example, let's say I'm working with a client and they have health issue X, where X is just a variable, right? A placeholder. And so what has to happen in the body to heal that? The answer is, I don't know. I'm a professional energy worker. I'm not a doctor. I know a lot about anatomy. I've studied it, but I don't know exactly what has to happen in the body to heal a virus or heal a broken bone or get rid of a tumor. Instead, when you are doing healing, you simply focus on the result that you want. To be out of pain, to be clear of a disease, to have more energy, whatever it may be. You don't have to go, hey body, create more of this chemical and less of that, and push this thing over here and adjust that fluid balance. No, that's way too hard. That's what we call psychic surgery. Now, it's not a wrong thing. If you really know what you're doing, it can work. There are some great psychic surgeons out there. But for most people, that's a long and difficult road. Much easier to simply focus on the healing. Let go of the intermediate steps. Let go of those accursed hows. And so before we finish here, I want to give you some more tips on how you can root out those intermediate steps and move directly at what you want. Because much of the time, you're much closer than you realized to where you want to be. Because so much of the time, you're actually much closer to what you really want than you may have realized. We just get stuck in the intermediate steps because that's the only way our mind understands to get to where we want to go. That's the point. If you like this video, make sure you hit like and subscribe, click the bell. If you want to learn a little more about me and my work, if you want to go a little deeper, I got some cool links in the description. Check it out. So before we finish here, I do want to give you some more tips on how to get rid of those intermediate steps. How to find out what it is you really want. And I'll extend the story with the woman in the beach house in Malibu to help you with this. And so I mentioned before that not only did she do the theta wave manifesting process, she also did some subconscious clearing. And this is part of the key if you want to have a lot of success really quickly. And so this is what I asked her. I asked her, why do you want to live in a beach house in Malibu? And she actually had to think about it. And she didn't have an answer in the moment. That's why it took a few weeks for this to play out. And so what she realized was she wanted the $5 million because that was the only way she understood to get a beach house in Malibu. But more importantly, she wanted the beach house in Malibu because she saw that as the only way she could make her parents proud. And so that's where the subconscious blocks were. And so I taught her how to do the clearing. She actually didn't do any private sessions with me. She learned everything she needed from the class, and she did it on her own. And she did a lot of clearing around that. And this is what I want to point out. She was much closer to her goal than she realized, because her goal wasn't the $5 million. It wasn't even the beach house in Malibu. It was feeling that she had made her parents proud. And for that, you don't need any money, do you? No. You don't need to live in a beach house in Malibu. No. That all happens on the inside. And so if you can identify what it is you really want, and then do subconscious clearing to make sure it's safe and accessible and all that kind of stuff, and then you manifest it with a powerful theta wave technique, your chances of success skyrocket. And so if you want to learn more, again, I put some cool links in the description. I'd be happy to work with you one-on-one if I have the availability, or give you the specific training, or heck, go work with someone else. That's fine with me. I don't have the time and energy and patience to work with everyone. What I want you to take away is you can get what you want, because most of what you want is not money or houses or cars or any of that. It's something on the inside. And if you can clear the subconscious and get yourself to the place where you have your goal on the inside, the outside is easy. In this case, just with energy healing, within a few weeks, this woman got to the place where she really felt on the inside that she was worthy of making her parents proud. And then the power of her mind did the rest. It said, hey, if my parents are really proud of me, maybe I have a beach house in Malibu. And boom, it manifested. Now, of course, it's not always that easy or that fast. I'm not saying you can have every goal you desire with 2 weeks in a weekend seminar. Of course not. But again, you're much closer than you may realize to having the thing you really want. We just got to let go of our obsessive focus on manipulating the intermediate steps. So I hope you found this video to be some combination of entertaining, transformational, and educational. This is video number 5 in the series of 8. So we got 3 more cool videos coming on other stupid human tricks. And so until next time, please take care and namaste.